Welcome to Gonzo Island, land of fantasy, fiction, and farce, where the weird and the wacky live in harmony and peace, with the occult, offbeat, and outlandish. Welcome to Gonzo Island. Be prepared for everything because anything can happen. Vetala, India's vampire. Vampires not only inhabit Western folklore, they can also be found in Arab and Persian stories. In Hindu folklore, they play a huge role throughout their history. One of the most renowned examples of this is the Somadeva's Vetala Tales, a collection of short stories predating the 11th century. A Vetala is a paranormal being, an evil spirit most similar to the vampire, that takes possession of a dead body to wreak havoc on the living. They live in a twilight zone world between the living and the afterlife. Time and space have no relevance for them as they seem to know the past, present and future and have a deep understanding of human nature. Over the centuries, many stories about them have been translated from Sanskrit into many different languages, most notably in English by J.A.B. Van Beetenen in the story The King and the Corpse and Sir Richard Francis Burton in the novel Vikram and the Vampire. The film industry also has recreated some of these stories in Jai Mahakali, Vikram Vedal, from 1951 which was redone in 1986 as Vikram Vetal. Also noteworthy, Vikram or Badal was a TV series in 1985 which aired on the station Doordarshan. Among the more famous stories of them can be found in the collection of 25 short stories known as Bidal Pachizi or Vikram Badal. In this story, King Vikram promises a yogi that he would go into the forest and bring back a corpse that is hanging from a tree. As the king puts the corpse on his back, he notices that it has been possessed by a Vetala. On the journey back to the yogi, the Vetala presents a riddle to the king telling him that if the king knows the answer he must speak it or his head would explode. At the same time the Vetala warns that if the king speaks, the Vetala would return to the tree where he was hanging. At the end of each riddle the king, fearing his head might explode, answers the riddle and the Vetala would scurry back to its tree. After 24 riddles, the Vetala finally gave the king a riddle he could not answer and the king was able to take the Vetala to the yogi thus completing his promise. This only proves once again that ignorance is bliss. I hope you enjoyed your tour of Gonzo Island. You can now return to the land of the normal.